gonna backtrack again for a minute.
Okay. Okay.
Now after the Raw Nights and after high school, me and you didn't see or hear or able to talk to each other at all. I get to Central Missouri State. My first party there, the first party there, I get there early, and the DJ's warming up, he chilling, and I come up to him, I say, oh man, I said, excuse me, I say, yeah, I said, you DJ to him, yeah. He said, I said, I'm Cecil, I'm from St. Louis, my first year here, freshman year here, He said, yeah, he said, and he got to looking at me. He said, okay. He said, I know you from somewhere. I said, oh, okay. And he said, yeah, he said, I'm Cassie. I said, okay. He said, yeah. He said, I said, can I ask your real name? He said, Kev. I said, what's your last name? He said, Holman. I said, man, my partner from Raw Nights hitting that Andre Holman. That's how I know you. I'm Andre big brother. I'm like, oh, snap. He's going, yeah. So I think our first break back, he said, hey, come by the house. Dre here. And I came by the house and you was there. He's like, you know this cat? I said, yeah. I said, Dre, what's up? He's like, how you know him? I said, that's my DJ. And I'm like, this circle is crazy, but it was that coming back together for us. And then later on, after college, turn around and boom, your wife is Felicia.
I know.
And me and Felicia been together since junior high. It's like, okay,
yes.
Okay, it's just meant for me to be in Dre's family. Me and Dre gonna be family.
That was crazy. That was crazy. I'm like, boy, this is too much for me. I cannot believe this, man.
Yeah,
I know St. Louis is small, but man, that's crazy.
Yeah, because matter of fact, we was out somewhere and I saw you. You say, yeah, oh man, here, let me introduce you to my wife. And she turned around. I say, Fee, you talking about, hey, you looking like, wait a minute, hold up. We went to high school and junior high together. This my ain't this nothing. And then have Sonia come around the corner. I'm like, hold on, wait a minute. And hold on, man, what is y'all doing? But again, like I said, man, it's just so great to know that the connection of people, there's a reason for everything. So for us to be in that circle, man, I'm like, hey, brother, hey, man, I said, I knew it was meant for me to be hanging around with Mr. Andre Holman.
So, and I'm just laughing. I'm like, what if you would have never asked Cassie, if you would never asked him his real name? And
it was so crazy because I say the only reason I spoke to him because I'm a freshman. I get to the party early and he DJing, ain't nobody really in there yet. So like, hey, let me go over and see. Hey, how you doing? You know, like it's the DJ. Let me see what's up.
Ain't nothing else going on.
Ain't nothing else. Let me say. And then I say, and he was kicking it too. So I'm like, he having fun. I'm enjoying the music. Mr. Can I at least ask you what your name is? He's so like you said, it's just a curiosity. Something just led me to ask that brother his name. And when he said that, it was like, okay. Yeah. He's like, no, man, I'm gonna have to holler at Dre and let you come out. I'm like, yeah, okay. And I mean, that was just nice. And then, like I said, come back, you graduate, you working there at the station. I'm at school. And again, even in our conversation, getting back together while I'm finishing school, we never talk about what you majored in or what I was majoring in.
Right.
Never talked about it.
Never talked about it.
Never talked about it.
Never talked about it.
So
like, because I think, you know, it took for maybe Marla Roach or somebody to say to me, hey, you know this guy by the name of Cecil Parker? And I was like, yeah. And they were like, yeah, well, we work with him. And I was like, what?
Yeah, but I mean, it was crazy. Like I said, after I graduated, I wasn't coming back here, but my grandmother never was doing things. So I came back home. And like I say, I sold shoes for 5 years at the center and then applied for a job at TCI at the time. Applied for that job there, and they talking about the position had been open for 5 years. I'm like, that's my gig then. Okay. So then once I got into it, it's like, okay, yeah, and then the double, right, cause TCI had also was doing stuff with y'all and with Double Helix.
Yeah.
So it was like, okay, cool. And some came, we was in the middle of that, trying to get that contract piece or whatever, hooked up. That's when they said, I was talking about, but St. Louis, Because at that point in time, it was, what was the city? What was it?
I think,
What was the
well,
first show?
at that time, it might have been City 16.
That's it.
It might have been City 16 at the time.
It was City 16.
Yep.
And they were talking about, yeah, well, we won't get the meeting with City 16 and yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, okay, cool. And then it never crossed paths. And then
No.
they switched out and sent us down on West Florida.
Yeah.
Well, we still got since West Florida. And then we met up with Marla. And I was doing something. Marla talking about, have you ever tried for City 10 St. Louis? I said, nah, what's that? She said, well, that's the government piece. I said, nah, we heard about it, but we never. She said, well, I want you to meet my friend Andre. I said, Andre who? She said, Holman. I said, wait, from St. Louis? Somewhere, yeah. Play football at Sumner? Somewhere, yeah. She's like, you know him? That's my big brother.
Yeah.
And then to run into Lewis, I was doing something with Lewis, and Lewis say, yeah, I guess got a job at City 16. Well, Andre, he's like, you know Andre? I say, yeah, man, that's brothers. We play ball together. That's my big brother. He's like, man, this is crazy. I mean, and so
man, that was crazy.
Yeah,
that was crazy. That was crazy.
And I mean, it's just been, like I say, it's just been the connection, the way things went.
Yeah, it was like it was meant really for us to stay connected. It always found a way for us to come back around, for real.
Yes, sir. So being, like I say, not so that you to move to being the manager at that point in time, what was some of the projects that you had to come up with? Now, so you were coming up with programming because it was growing.
Right. Because after the supervisor left, I applied for the video production supervisor position, and Mayor Bosley had just taken over as mayor for a year, and I was like, man, I'm gonna apply for it, and I ended up getting that position, and that's really where everything began, because I was like, okay, first I want to make sure that we have a set that doesn't look like public access. And so I hired an Emmy award-winning set designer, this guy by the name of Miles Vesage. Then I started trying to find talent around St. Louis, people that are already known as personalities to come and actually host some shows. Then I said, we need to brand this station. We need to, because we were still really known as the communication division when I took over. And then I was like, okay, we're going to be City 16. And then after a couple of years of growing that, then Charter said, we're going to move all the government channels to Channel 10. So we became City TV 10.
Right.
And it was really good because it put us in between Channel 9 and Channel 11. And, we really gained a lot of popularity around that time. And, I was able to start hiring people that wanted to move to the city anyway. Unfortunately, the city still has their city residency where I couldn't get anybody that lived outside the city to come and actually work for the city. But I did later, much later, I was able to get the city to change and make it so that if they wanted to work part-time for the city, they didn't have to necessarily move to the city. They didn't have to move to the city if you were going to be part-time. If you wanted full-time, you had to. So that really hurt us as far as being able to bring in a lot of talented people, man. And, so we were just working with, what we could, but we had some people that really helped us out tremendously, man, and helping us build the brand of City 16, then moving to City TV 10. So when that happened, a lot of people started inquiring like, man, hey, I'd love to work with you guys, man. You all are doing some unique programming, because I created this late night television show called Best of the STL, where we had a live band, a restaurant cooking in the kitchen, an audience of about 40, 50 people. And then we were bringing guests onto our main set, like, Ozzie Smith and Jackie Joyner Kersey, St. Louis Rams players, Nelly and Murphy Lee. And, we were just, man, I wanted to create something that created a buzz, and I felt like if I do something big, something different, then it's going to grab people's attention.
Right.
And so I said, well, I'm going to do it here with our station, but I also built a relationship with ABC 30, and I said, hey, I want you all to air this program for us as well. And so they were like, no, well, we'd be happy to do that as long as you got, money to pay for it. So we went out. I went out and got a lady by the name of Bonnie Burns, who worked at ABC 30 for many years, but had left. And I told her I need a sponsorship packet that I could present to businesses in St. Louis so that I could get this show on ABC 30 and run it on our channel. And so it worked out, man. And it became a popular show. It had a 11-year, almost a 12-year run.
Okay.
It only stopped when the city had a major. We only stopped it when the city hit a major budget shortfall.
Okay.
That was the only reason why we stopped. But it became the staple that everyone knew us by. So, man. But yeah, man, it's just a blessing, man, because not only did I have the opportunity to give more African Americans opportunities, right, because for the most part, when people heard like, oh man, there's a Black guy that runs, the city's television station, they were like, what? People, I was getting resumes and stuff. People like, man, I got to come over and see this. I don't believe it. I'm going to bring my resume. And I was like, man, I want to give people opportunities. And, the internship was one way, which Louis Neal was one of my first interns. And, and then, which was a Riverview Ram. Yeah. But then I was also able to give, a lot of African Americans who were graduates from college who hadn't had opportunities, give them a chance to get in and start, building their careers. And man, it was just a blessing, man. Seriously, dude. It was a blessing, not just for me, but the entire St. Louis community that were interested in television production, mass communications, who were feeling kind of like, man, I'm gonna have to leave St. Louis in order to get an opportunity. So I just feel like that.
I said again, it was the fact of you doing your shows, and like I said, over at TCI and Charlie, me, Joe, Monica, and Sherman, we were doing our stuff. And I mean, right. it was so crazy, and it was so good. The fact that, like I said, go to a game or something where we got to get an interview with somebody and look over y'all coming in on the same side, get an interview. It's like, yeah, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm doing some things. They got City 10 up here too. What up, baby? So it was just, like you say, man, it's been that growing and constant circle piece. And it's even to the point where, like I say, when I was working with Diane White with Shade of Success, and it's like, we're gonna interview so-and-so and so-and-so, like, okay. And then you call them and say, hey, CP, you hear about such and such? I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. And I tell Diane, and all of a sudden, boom, we both there at the same spot.
Right.
I'm like,
right.
And I said, and that was now working with her, man, that, like say, being a Sumner alumni and being the first female weather person, man, it was like, this was just, like I say, that circle was like, it was like, I'm in this room and it's just family, but everybody outside looking in is like, do you know who that is? Do you know who that?
Right.
Yeah, that's Miss White. That's Mama White. Oh, no, you don't know who that is. And, and I mean, and like I said, so again, for me not to do what she called me out to do, and for you, this whole platform of like I said, I put this show together on this during this pandemic because I'm thinking we got so much history. I know so many who've done so much stuff to where, if not just for my selfish want to be able to say, I know you, I'm proud of you, and I got some on archive saying that, yeah, this is my family. That's my main purpose, man. And all I ever wanted to do was just highlight people because, hey, we first of all, again, like you said, coming from where you were born, where I was coming from there and having people actually watch something we putting together.
Right.
And then to be hanging in that circle, we ain't supposed to be doing that, Dre. We were told as kids we wasn't supposed to be doing none of this.
Woo, right, man. It was mind blowing, and I'm telling you, man, this is the crazy thing. My first project here as an intern with the communication vision at the time was to work with Julius Hunter on a video called "You the Juror." It was an
Mm.
orientation showing people about jury duty. That was man. I met him, man, and I was like, man, this is the guy I've been watching on TV for years and
Yep.
years.
Yeah.
And this dude, and then towards the middle of my career, having a chance to work with Diane White when she started working for the mayor's office.
That's
man.
it. Yep.
Yeah. So I'm just like, I was like, man, this is crazy, man. Two people who who were, icons for, the St. Louis public schools and Sumner High School, because of the path that they led, man. And they definitely trailblazers, man. And, it was just like, wow. It was like a wow moment for me, seriously.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. Yeah, man. Like you say, man. And again, like I said, like what you said, and it was you were working with Julius, and then met Diane. I was with Diane, and she took me to interview Julius. So it's like, I mean, it was just crazy. That's
crazy.
And like I say, but once again, when you get to be on that one-on-one with them in their atmosphere, oh man, it's family. It was like, hey, you want to come? Hey, come on by and chill out.
That's it.
Julius Hunter saying, come on by and chill out. Wait a minute, hold up. I mean, like
wait a minute.
Diane came to my daughter's birthday party. My family was like, is that really Diane White? I'm like, yeah, that's Diane White. Come on. She here for Jordan. You know her for real. Like, yeah. Shoot, Diane White, that's Jordan, another grandmama. So I mean, and we became family. And like I said, that's the thing I loved about, that's the thing I don't regret about staying here, because of the connections that I ended up getting by one following my dream. Regardless of what they said, that 5-year delay could have messed me all the way up. But again, I say, man, and then I said to see and run into my big brother doing things. And I'm one of the people who I made you look. Wait a minute, I made the top list 3 times. I made 13, 10, and 7. And then they said, you don't live in the city. I ain't just about
I sure thought, I was like, man, Cecil gonna be working with us. Oh man.
But I mean, man, but I mean, I'm still, like I said, you've done so much. So the innovation that you put into that station, like I said, you took it from being the government only to being considered, like I said, boom, St. Louis entertainment station for whatever you need and whatever you're looking for. And then, wait a minute, now another connection.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
My niece came in there and working for y'all. Shalene.
Oh, yes. Oh my gosh.
Now that was crazy too, because it was like I was doing something. I'm like, yeah, Shalene Houston. To my I said, I said, come on, you know her? I said, yeah, that's my niece. I'm like, huh? In college, I did an IT, and I knew when she's a little girl growing up. I'm like, oh man, so to see her there too, it's like, man, it's just a beautiful thing. For us to say, man. But look, for me to say how old I am, and then to say Dre older than me.
Oh, you crazy. But you're right. You are right.
I mean, man, but so now, Dre, Mr. Andre, Mr. Holman.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk about a little bit about this new life. Boy, first of all, man, congratulations on how many years it's been now since the heart attack, the stroke.
That was 2017, man. So yeah, it's 4 years ago.
Man,
4 years ago,
brother. I mean, we prayed. When we heard, brother, we was praying like a champ, baby boy, and we so glad that God kept you around. And then for you to go, where you going now to this? Tell us about your baby now. Go ahead, tell us about your baby.
Well, I guess 3 weeks ago, man, we gave birth to a new network that we brought to St. Louis. St. Louis is leading the way on it. It's called the TV network. Meaning clarity. I know most people say, oh, it's Andre Holman with the exclamation point. But I'm telling you, man, it's really God, because when I sat down before COVID and started thinking about, man, what do I want to do with this network? And I told my dad before he passed, probably 2 years before he passed, when he asked me, like, okay, well, you've been at STL TV about 20 years now. What are you going to do next? And so I was like, man, I don't know. I'm watching to see how this technology changes. I might be able to have my own live streaming setup where I can have my own programming. And my dad, you know, he's like, oh, ain't nothing to it but to do it. You know, he's like, hey, you gotta go. And so,
yeah, Mr. Holman, he showed
yeah,
like it, boy,
man,
ain't do
that's
it.
my
Ain't nobody
dad, man. And yeah. So, you know, when I just started just paying attention, shoot, probably like 3 or 4 years ago, and just watching how live streaming was starting to take over, man, and you could just see the trends. I was like, man, okay, this might happen. And so I just started just focusing on it and started making plans. Like, if I did do it, what would I want to do? And I was like, well, you know, this career has really taught me a lot about community, and not only community, but working with not-for-profit organizations and businesses, and obviously city government, just working with all those entities here in the city of St. Louis, and marketing divisions like CVC, Explore St. Louis. Working with all of those individuals and those different organizations, man, really gave me a glimpse of what I could do on a major level with the right content. And so, man, I just started putting it together, man, and I said I wanted to be content that really like enlightens people, makes people say, make them like realize, like, man, okay, I understand that a little bit better. I know what you're saying. And so I just started working on that logo, designing it, and then when COVID hit, it's just like things just went into fast mode because we were shut down here. All we could do was government meetings on Zoom, you know. And so I just really put things in the fast track. I started reaching out to some of the people who I knew had worked with me over the years here in St. Louis, but even people that had left St. Louis and moved to, you know, LA and Atlanta, Houston, Miami, New York. I just started reaching out to them saying, hey, this is something I'm thinking about doing, and I want you to be on board. At the same time, I was reaching out to the TV startup company that helps you build your platform with Roku, Fire, and Apple TV and iPhone and Android. And so they were like, okay, well, this is what it's going to take. And I'm like, shoot, okay, I'm going to have to go find some people. I'm going to have to find some people with some money. I may have to go see John. I may have to go see John. I may have to go see John Bomarito and have him sponsor this like he did my prep zone stuff. So it just started coming together, man. And we built the platform, and I started thinking about the programming and started pulling people together, and things just started moving, man. And, you know, they gave me a date saying, hey, you'd be ready around this time. I was like, okay, let's go. And so I selected April 22nd to announce to St. Louis that I was going to be doing this because so many people were speculating, like, man, Andre's just got his 30-year pen. He's about to retire. This is it. Or he's about to announce he's leaving St. Louis.
Right. Because I'm like, Drake, I got an important important announcement coming up. We like, I said, what? Wait a minute, Drake finna retire? Wait a minute, it ain't time to retire. Yeah, what Drake talking about?
Well, they were like, well, we gonna eliminate that him and Felicia Gray have another baby. That ain't it. That's not it. I'm like, no.
That ain't it. No.
That ain't it. But no, man, it was truly exciting to be able to announce that with Carol Daniel and my man Ozzie Smith was there, and so it was cool, man. And a lot of the people who I'd been meeting with. So I had built a team of content developers, and all we did was meet with different people who were putting shows on the table for us to look at and see if we would like to have them be a part of the network. And I will tell you, the number one show that I figured that we were going to launch with, because I knew I wasn't going to launch with Jackie Joyner Kersey or Arvin Mitchell, the comedian, some other people that I know who have some things that are coming down the line. But I wanted to start with something that was homegrown, and the On Your Now show with Yolanda Langford and Tracy Berry McGee. Tracy Berry McGee, who I went who I went to grade school with, it was just like, it was perfect. It was perfect. And so we just said we were gonna start out with them, but pull some other shows in with them and get the show, get the, the network off the ground. And it's been a blessing, man. And St. Louis, man, a lot of people say, man, St. Louis, if you do something big, St. Louis is not gonna support you. Man, I cannot tell you the amount of emails and phone calls and text messages I get from people just saying, man, hey, I appreciate what you're doing. Let me know if I can do anything to help you out. And and it's like people that I don't even know. It's like people I don't even know, man. So I'm just hoping to turn the tide and make people believe that we can do more here in St. Louis. It doesn't always have to be Atlanta.
Right.
We can do some big things here in St. Louis if we just start collaborating more. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And so that's been the biggest, the most exciting thing to me is just seeing how St. Louis has come together. And we just like, hey, whatever we're going to do, we got some content, we're going to build, and make it so that people don't have to leave St. Louis. If they don't want to, they don't have to leave St. Louis if they want to work on a production of a show or something like that. So a short movie, a documentary, whatever. They don't have to leave St. Louis. So that's what we focused on, man, and things are coming together. And I'm happy that next month we'll have a ceremony downtown to actually unveil the new location where the network is going to be housed at. So yeah, man, it's cool. It's really cool.
Like I said, man, I am so proud of you and everything you're doing, man. I'm so happy that I can tell everybody, listen up. I know Andre Holman since I was 11 years old. Ha ha! Yeah! Woo!
Yeah.
And I know Big Brother. I knew Daddy. Yeah. I know the wife. Yeah, I know the kids. I know them all. Ha ha!
You know the DJ.
I mean, man, but and I mean, Dre, to hear things going on, and like I said, to know the stuff, the obstacles you had to overcome. Now, see, we ain't even talk about the obstacles you had to overcome in staying at that station. Brother, look here. Yeah, like I said, I worked for TCI and in that whole government. So I know the thing, man, hey, brother, again, and that's why it was so beautiful when we did get together on little stuff and we outside chilling. Well, we were able to talk about, man, that's ball, look at this. Woo! Right. And it's just the fact of having, and people don't say, having an outlet with somebody that's in what you're doing. Woo. Oh man, you can't beat that for the world.
That's the best feeling.
Man,
that's the best feeling.
And like that's the best feeling, bro. For you, you knew whenever, and you did it whenever. Like CP, look at me. I need to hide you for a minute. Check this out. And I'm like, dang, Drake, let me tell you about something. You're like, well, when we finish, all right, cool. We got a plan. I'm gonna do this. You look out for what I'm doing. And then let me know what's happening. Cool. But that's how we always done, though. Like I said, you have always been that brother that was able to say something to me. And it was like, no. If you want to do that, do it this way. If you ain't going to do it, then just leave it alone and find something else. But don't take no as a stopping point. And I'm like, yeah,
right.
I mean, like I say, man, and again, it's been so many things over the years. In our little conversation, like I say, it ain't, and that's what I'm saying either. It ain't the big stuff, it's the little thing.
Right.
Well, you said you didn't even know you was helping me. You was like, okay, that's good stuff. I like that. Boom, they done made my day. I'm good. Okay, I can go ahead and let's finish this thing on up there.
Right. No, man, I'm telling you, man, it's a blessing, man. And that's the one thing that I would tell you that my dad always said, man. He always said, keep good people around you. He said, you can never fail. You keep good people around you. So that's been a blessing, seriously. Because I'm telling you, man, there's some days that I feel like, man, I don't know. I might have to tell all my staff members, hey, they closing us down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And man, it was number God, man, that kept this place open. Seriously.